Good morning, everybody. Bonita Hutchison, your psychic coach, back with another podcast session. Today, I want to talk about what it's like to see me for a session. So you can work with me online, you can work with me in person, wherever you are, it doesn't really matter because I'm able to tune in regardless of location. When people work with me, you can either come in with a set of questions you want to ask. You might come in saying, hey, Bonita, I just feel lost. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's next. A lot of times we're sitting in the void. We've hit that place where we just don't know what's around the corner. We don't know even how to see ourselves. So the work I'm doing is to help tap into your subconscious, your inner wisdom, your full potential, and bring that forward for you so that you have a better idea of who you really are, what your real path is, and how to walk that path. So the way I begin is very organic. It depends on the person. Some people come in and right away they want to talk about something in particular that they're working on. And while they're talking, I'm tuning in. I'm picking up their energy. I'm picking up messages for them. And so sometimes it's just a very organic back and forth where they'll be talking and I'll say, okay, here's the pattern I'm seeing. And the main thing that I want to do is help you to get past any blocks you have to your happiness, to abundance, to living your full potential, to feeling really connected with the people in your life. So I'm going to be looking at those patterns that have been there since early childhood, or sometimes through trauma we experience in our lives, that are operating the way they are based on what was going on in our lives at the time the pattern was created. So the pattern thinks it's protecting you and it's unconscious. So it doesn't realize that your life has changed, you've grown up, and it can now operate differently. To give you an example, if you have a problem getting comfortable in a crowded situation, maybe you went through a humiliating situation when you were younger, in a room, maybe you got laughed at in a public situation, so now you go to a gathering and you kind of have your walls up. Well, that pattern is trying to protect you from going through humiliation again, not realizing that life has changed. You've grown up. You don't need that protection anymore. So we're not about squashing those patterns. They're trying to help us. Over the last more than 40 years that I've been doing this work, I've developed ways to access those patterns and to help you to work with them, to support them to come to consciousness so they can go, oh, I'm in an adult body now. Oh, this is a different situation. I can now use that energy that's been there to put a wall up and I thought protect you, but actually keep you from things in life, to now using that energy to help you move forward. Every one of your patterns, when it's brought to consciousness, has some of your wisdom, has some of your energy. So for you to be able to fully move forward and live the life you're meant to live, you need them, but you need them conscious. So that's a lot of what I do. So when I'm working with people, they'll either come in and they'll start to talk about what's going on and I'm tuning in, or they come in and they might even say, I don't know why I'm here. I just sensed I needed to work with you. And I will start immediately just by tuning in. So you don't have to come in with a set of questions. You can come in just, hey, let's see what comes up. And the way I'm tuning in, it's very individual. It's like I'm setting up a phone line between our energy fields. And I tune in by first name. So I'm tuning in on the vibration of your first name. And that's giving me messages. I might get verbal messages, I might get visions, emotional senses, senses of what's going on physically. So whatever I'm picking up on is what your subconscious wisdom most wants you to know right now. So sometimes it goes in a different direction or far deeper than what you thought you were coming in about, but I'm all about let's go to the core of the matter, let's go deep right away to get you with a solution and get you moving faster in your forward movement in your life than if you spent time with a regular coach where you might talk for months or even years before you get to the crux of the matter. I want to get you there as quickly as we can, but gently. my approach is compassion and humor. Sometimes we just have to laugh at the predicament of the human experience, but really helping you to see what's possible for you, and really to help you fall back in love with yourself, to love the parts of you you've been taught to reject, and to realize that you need them on the journey. You just need to find a way to work with them, and I can help you with that. So the next thing I do after I do my initial tuning in is I work with my tarot deck. Now, I don't work predictively, because as far as I'm concerned, the future is not carved in stone. We make it up as we go along based on the decisions we make. However, what's informing our decisions? If our old patterns that aren't conscious are forming our decisions, it's why we keep ending up in the same dissatisfactory relationships, career choices, situations. If we're repeating them, it's because it's those patterns putting us there, and we wonder, how did I end up here again? Because it's not your conscious mind making those decisions. It's not the part of you that causes you to be drawn to something that ultimately isn't going to work very well for you. So that's why we want to bring those patterns to conscious. So when I'm working with the tarot, I'm mapping your subconscious. In fact, as I tune in, it's your subconscious that tells me what cards to pick, helps me to do that mapping. So when I lay out the cards, I usually start with a Celtic cross, which gives me a general overview of whatever we're working on. And quite often the first few cards verify what I got when I just tuned in without the cards. And so that'll give us a certain amount of information. If I'm dealing with something involving a relationship, I can tune in on the combination of your first names, feel the dynamics of that relationship, give you some information there. And I also do a 12-card spread just on the relationship alone. So you know the dynamics of it, you know what's working, what's not working, and then we talk strategy. I also have a career spread. It's also good for just any venture you're trying, so you can see what are the underlying patterns, what's getting in the way, what's helping you move forward. I do a spiritual path spread to help you understand the next steps on your spiritual journey. One of the other things I'm able to do is to see your chakras. So the chakras are the energy centers in your field. There's actually quite a few of them, but we focus on the 7 that are most commonly known. And as I'm looking at them, certain symbologies show up, information comes that way too. So I get all that information. Sometimes people have me tune in on people who've passed on, and if that's something that's going to help you move forward, that can be useful too, as long as it's not getting you stuck on always looking for that solace through a coach or through a psychic. I definitely will help you make that connection if you need to, but then I'm going to help you to move forward. So after I've done all my tuning in fact, it tends to be sort of a mixture of tuning in and strategy, I'm then going to offer you some strategies. I'm going to give you some tools to work with. And for the people who choose to work with the tools I give, it helps you to become more psychic. It's why I say the more you see me, the less you'll need me, because I'll teach you how to be your own psychic. I feel that my focus is to help you to really hear your own inner voice and learn to trust it and work with it. And that's challenging because our ego voice is the louder one, and it's the one that will push aside that still small voice within that might lead you down a path of growth. And the ego doesn't like growth. It likes everything to stay the same, even if that's dysfunctional. And so we really want to help you get to the point where you're moving forward, you're moving into the things that are challenging, and I'm here to support you all the way. So if you are facing challenges, I do have a background as a crisis worker. There's really nothing you can bring up that I can't hold space for or support you through. I've been at this for many years, so there's really no situation I haven't encountered. You're always going to be met with openness, compassion, non-judgment. I also feel that in terms of the way I work, you're always going to come away with homework. So you're not just going to have an experience that might be a feel-good one that's reassuring, but you're going to have solid information on your next steps so that you're moving forward in your life. Now, some of you will come to see me, and in one session, you'll get what you need for the time being, and off you go. Have an amazing life. Come back again when you need me. Some of you may say, I'm really unfolding a lot of stuff here. There's some big things to unpack. And you might want to do some ongoing work with me. I do offer discounted packages. I do let you share them with family. And you use them as you need them. They don't expire. So if you use some now and you use some a few years from now, that's okay. You've paid for my time. It's your time to use as you need it. So that is something that's available to you. I also am an advanced Psych K practitioner, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Psych K is short for psychological kinesiology. So what that means is it's a great tool if you have really entrenched fears, beliefs, habits, and no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get on top of that. Psych K can help remove the energy that's been running the pattern so that you can finally see the pattern more easily as it comes up and deal with it more effectively. So that's another one of the tools in my tool belt, and that's the kind of follow-up session you can have as well if we find that that's necessary for you. I'm also a meditation coach, a dream interpreter. I work with animals. So I'm kind of your one-stop psychic shop. Whatever you need, I can work with you. And if we're working long distance, I send you a video and audio recording of your session. If we're working in person, you're absolutely encouraged to record the session on your phone. I give a lot of takeaways. I give you everything I can in the time that we're together. And therefore, I'd rather, if you wish to, you record it, because a lot of my clients say they listen to the recordings over and over again because there's so much meat on the bones. There's so much to take away. My office will accommodate several people. And I'm in the prettiest part of the old city quarter there, right across from all the funky little shops and restaurants. So, you come to my office, bring your friends, then go shopping, go for a meal, make an afternoon of it. It's very easy to get to me if you're in Vancouver. Just hop on the Hello Ferry. I've got more and more folks doing that. They, just catch an Uber or a taxi into the old city quarter. There's lots to do right where we are. So, come and spend the day and have fun and learn something about yourself that you didn't know before, and take that information home to make your life only better. I do look forward to seeing you one way or the other. If you feel drawn to work with me, I will put the information in this podcast so you can find my site and connect with me. Thanks very much for joining me, everybody. Have a wonderful day.